White folks at Waverly had never said slaves. It was hands, or servants, or our black people. When Hildy had begged to be sold along with her husband, Master Richard had upbraided her for ingratitude. Then he had tried to console her. "The new smith I'm getting, Hildy, is of amiable temper and fine looking. He needs a wife." She hadn't understood for a moment. When she had, it had hurt worse than a whipping. What Master Richard had meant was a slave's marriage didn't count. She purely had hated him for a heartbeat, although she had grown up worshipping him almost as much as she had Miss Lou. "I'm married to Justice Master Richard," she had said when she could speak, "by the parson. You watched with your own eyes." The pupils of those eyes had swelled like he was going into a fury. Women weren't whipped at Waverly, but she could have been the first. When he had spoken, though, his voice had been controlled, and she had known he wouldn't change his mind. "Your marriage is annulled as of this minute. I won't force you to take another husband, Hildy, but you'll stay here because your mistress relies on you." Miss Lou, at 43, had been in the family way. It had happened pretty often when a woman neared the end of her childbearing years. One more bitterness. Hildy and Justice hadn't started a baby, never would. For Bishop Jardine had written how Justice had run off a few months after he was fetched up to Missouri. Asked Master Richard to watch out for him in case he tried to get back to Waverly and see Hildy. He hadn't, not in 5 long years. The way north was dangerous. Hildy feared he might be dead, but refused to have another man. She had loved Justice ever since they were 13, when he'd rescued her from a drunken overseer. Master Richard had horsewhipped the white man and run him off the place. The recollection softened Hildy, brought back a rush of good memories of Master Richard. He had called in doctors if any of his folks were bad sick. Old folks were taken good care of till they died. He gave 4 full holidays in the summer and a week at Christmas, with new clothes and a feast for everyone. Most of all, there was that light, bright heart in him. How he'd grab Miss Lou off her feet, swing her around and hug her while she'd blush and laugh and scold. Aunt Becky had grumbled about that, too. Married 20 years and still carrying on like they just laid eyes on each other. No one would lay eyes on Master Richard again. Killed 3 months ago at Wilson's Creek, up in southwest Missouri, on August 10th, 1861. "Our Cherokees captured all save one of the enemy's artillery pieces," his colonel had written, "thus assuring a Confederate victory. Your brave husband, madam, died attempting to take that last Union howitzer. May pride in him and the cause he died for be of solace, and know that all here grieve the loss of their gallant captain. I assure you that he is decently buried." Miss Lou hadn't smiled since then, except when little Master Richie climbed into her lap, gripped her face between his palms, and commanded, "Laugh, Mama. Richie wants to hear you." She would, a little, then call him her big boy and gather him close as she buried her face in his hair, curly gold like his father's. Very winning was Master Richie. At first, Hildy had succeeded in hating him, blaming him for her not being sold along with Justice, blaming him because she couldn't have a baby of her own. She'd changed him and bathed him and walked him when he cried, and Miss Lou was too tired to cosset him. But she hadn't crooned to him or cuddled him, had hardened her heart against his tiny, perfect fingers, the pulse beat of that soft spot in his skull. "I could drop him." The wicked thought had scared her into being extra careful, but she still hadn't touched him one bit more than she had to. Then Miss Lou's breasts had caked. She had wept when she tried and failed to nurse the baby, suffering something terrible in spite of the hot poultices.